Hi, all the students. Welcome once again to XAT. My name is Anil Chaudhary, and from today onwards, we are going to start a series of live sessions where we are going to target the various OMETs. CAT पर ऑलरेडी बहुत बातें हो चुकी है और बहुत सारी क्लासेस भी CAT पर ऑलरेडी हो चुके हैं. You people must also have got fed up कि सर इतना content CAT को लेकर, but very few people and very few platforms are such where we are talking more about OMETs. बट नाउ स्टूडेंट्स आज से जो सीरीज अपन स्टार्ट करेंगे ओमेट्स को लेकर आई एम वेरी श्योर दैट इट इज गोइंग टू बूस्ट योर कॉन्फिडेंस स्पेशली इन इंग्लिश एंड मोर ओवर स्टूडेंट्स व्हेन आई टॉक अबाउट वीआरसी कैट का जो वीआरसी है उसमें थोड़ा सा स्कोप कम होता है अंडरस्टैंड बिकॉज इट्स मोर ऑफ रीडिंग ओरिएंटेड तो वहां पर न ग्रामर पढ़ाना है न वो क्या पढ़ाना है बट स्टूडेंट्स व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट ओमेट्स स्पेशली व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट स्नैप एनमैट देन वी हैव ज़ैट CMAT, महाराष्ट्र CET, इन सब का जो इंग्लिश का पैटर्न है इन सब की जो लैंग्वेज एबिलिटी है that particular section is very much different. So grammar also becomes important here. Idioms and phrases also become important here. At the same time, the figures of speech, okay, vocab plays a very important role here. So students, there is immense scope to actually teach for a teacher in OMETs. CAT में वो थोड़ा सा limited होता है. एंड ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम बहुत सारे पैसेजेस करते करते बच्चे भी थोड़ा सा बोर हो जाते हैं बट नाउ स्टूडेंट्स वी आर गोइंग टू हैव अ लॉट ऑफ फन studying for OMETs and the best part with OMETs English is in less time you people can score very high. So that is the best part. Even 15 questions and snap जो आते हैं within 7-8 minutes you can attempt all 15 questions. So the best part is in less time you people can score high especially in the English section of OMETs. Okay, चलिए अब जो भी स्टूडेंट्स लाइव हैं मुझे एक बार बता दो. Am I okay now? Am I audible? Yes, hi वैभव. Hello. Yes, absolutely वैभव. अभी तो बहुत सारा कंटेंट आने वाला है एंड जितने भी ASCAT के रजिस्टर्ड स्टूडेंट्स हैं उन सबको तो आपके स्पेशल डेडिकेटेड क्लासेस ऑन OMETs वी पीपल आर गोइंग टू गिव एंड उसका थोड़ा सा टेस्ट हम लोग YouTube पर देने वाले हैं. चलिए तो वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट विद द वेरी फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन. 12 questions we are going to discuss today and a lot of varieties of questions we are going to discuss. हर तरह के questions आएंगे और आज स्पेशली जो questions मैंने लिए हैं वो मेजरली स्नैप और एनमैट को टारगेट करेंगे. ज़ैट में भी स्टूडेंट्स ग्रामर आता है लेकिन ज़ैट का पैटर्न और इंटरेस्टिंग और थोड़ा सा लेवल का आता है. आज का जो पहला सेशन है वी आर गोइंग टू फोकस ऑन स्नैप एंड एनमैट. एट द सेम टाइम आई वुड अर्ज ऑल द स्टूडेंट्स स्नैप को लेकर लॉजिकल रीजनिंग क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग एंड इंग्लिश को लेकर ऑलरेडी मेरी लास्ट ईयर की प्लेलिस्ट अवेलेबल है. एक एक वीडियो को वॉच करना. द कॉन्सेप्ट्स आर गोइंग टू गेट प्रीटी क्लियर इन दैट. ओके, चलिए नाउ स्टूडेंट्स, यस द वेरी फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन. ऑलराइट, so can you people tell me which is the correct answer? Okay, Uday, thank you. So what is the correct answer here? What is the meaning of the given idiom? Now you people try to understand. Sometimes we may come across such questions. अब यहाँ पे सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम क्या है? The sentence is not given to us. अगर sentence होता तो possibly on the basis of that we would have understood or possibly we would have guessed some meaning of the given idiom. But here students you don't have that luxury. If you know the meaning of this idiom well and good. Otherwise, okay, या तो कोई wild guess लें या फिर question को skip करें. फिलहाल students थोड़ा सा guess करो a slap on the wrist. A slap on the wrist. So what does that mean? अच्छा, slap on the face होता तो yes, तब तो yes. Slap on the wrist का मतलब होता है yes, it becomes a mild punishment. The correct answer is mild punishment. So fourth option becomes the correct answer. Okay, you just imagine slap on the wrist. इसका मतलब है बड़ा soft सा punishment. तो yes, मैं punishment तो दे रहा हूँ, but it's a mild one. So that is the meaning of slap on the wrist. चलो मुझे बताओ स्टूडेंट्स, अगर मैं कहता हूँ wrist action, what is the meaning of this? और इसी तरह से slap and wrist पर बहुत सारे idioms बनते हैं. I would urge all the students, what you people can do is after the session फटाफट गूगल में टाइप करना या फिर पॉसिबली किसी भी AI टूल में टाइप करना कि yes, such idioms where the word slap is coming, such idioms where the word wrist is coming. तो एक एक बार इन सब इडियम्स को बैठ के पढ़ लोगे आई थिंक कॉन्फिडेंस आ जाएगा. स्टूडेंट्स बिलीव मी, हमको बैठ के कोई रट्टा नहीं मारना है, बट एक बार इन केस इफ यू हैव गॉन थ्रू डेफिनेटली स्टूडेंट्स एमसीक्यूज में जैसे ही ऑप्शंस देखोगे यू विल बी एबल टू क्लिक इट. तो गो थ्रू मैक्सिमम इडियम्स एंड फ्रेजेस, और इसके 2 या 3 क्वेश्चंस आने के पूरे चांसेस हैं स्नैप में. ओके, चलिए. सो द करेक्ट आंसर इज अ वेरी माइल्ड पनिशमेंट. नाउ यू पीपल टेल मी, देयर इज वन ऑप्शन गिवन टू अस, अच्छा, टू बी एनरेज्ड. आपको पता है स्टूडेंट्स व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ रेज? रेज का मतलब क्या होता है? एंगर. रेज का मतलब क्या होता है? गुस्सा. गुस्से को स्टूडेंट्स अपन और क्या कहते हैं इंग्लिश में? गुस्से को अपन और कहते हैं फ्यूरी. गुस्से को अपन इंग्लिश में और क्या कहते हैं? रात. एब्सोल्युटली. एंड फॉर एग्जांपल, किसी पर्सन को गुस्सा बहुत आता है, ओके, बात बात पर गुस्सा आता है. कैन यू पीपल टेल मी व्हाट काइंड ऑफ इडियम कैन बी यूज फॉर सच अ पर्सन? एनी इडियम, एनी फ्रेज जिसका मतलब होता है अ पर्सन हु इज मच हु इज ऑलवेज इन अ वेरी इरिटेटेड मोड, हमेशा चिढ़ा हुआ होता है. अंडरस्टैंड? एक तो बहुत अच्छा सा फ्रेज आता है, चिप ऑन द शोल्डर. कभी सुना है स्टूडेंट्स? चिप ऑन द शोल्डर. तो व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ चिप ऑन द शोल्डर? हमेशा चिढ़ा हुआ होना. अंडरस्टैंड? इसी तरह से और भी बहुत सारी फ्रेजेस हैं. अच्छा, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ आई से दैट माई टीचर हिट द सीलिंग when he came to know I did not complete my homework. My teacher hit the ceiling. So what is the meaning of hit the ceiling? Hit the ceiling का मतलब है गुस्सा आ जाना, isn't it? Hit the ceiling. एक और बहुत अच्छा एग्जाम्पल हो सकता है, like a red bag to a bull. Like a red bag to a bull. इसका भी मतलब होता है स्टूडेंट्स to become angry. Okay? So anyway, in this manner, ऐसे बहुत interesting idioms of phrases हैं. In the coming days, start putting some efforts in that as well. Now see, policy of delaying decisions. चलो इसी से related एक बहुत अच्छा सा phrase, red tapeism. Can you people tell me what is the meaning of red tapeism? आप लोगों ने कभी गवर्नमेंट फाइल्स को देखा है? गवर्नमेंट फाइल्स कैसी होती है? एक बोर्ड होता है एंड स्टूडेंट्स उस पर पेपर्स रखे जाते हैं, देन एक रेड टेप यहाँ से, एक रेड टेप यहाँ से, और उसको बांध दिया जाता है. एंड यू पीपल जस्ट से, एक बार वो फाइल जब बंद जाती है, कब खुलेगी? नो वन नोस. So when I talk about red tapeism, this actually refers to the lengthy government procedures, red tapeism. इसीलिए आपने कई बार देखा होगा प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी, when he goes abroad, in many of his speeches he says that अब इंडिया में when you come, you will not see red tapeism, but you will see a red carpet welcome. So students understand, एक बहुत अच्छा ऑडिटर हमेशा idioms and phrases को यूज करता है. तो red tapeism का मतलब है lengthy government procedures. But when I talk about red carpet welcome, that is to give a royal welcome, isn't it? Well, anyway, coming on students, the second question. Now, the second question is a question which is purely based on vocab. So what is the meaning of the word sanguinary? Yes? Any answer? Any guess? Especially I want, जितने भी students live हैं, सबसे पहले तो स्ट्रीम को लाइक करो एंड प्लीज एंश्योर दैट यू पीपल पार्टिसिपेट इन गिविंग द आंसर्स. इन केस अगर आप पार्टिसिपेट करोगे तो पढ़ाने में और मजा आएगा. एंड एनीवे, जो स्टूडेंट्स बाद में इसको वॉच करेंगे, प्लीज एंश्योर दैट फर्स्ट यू पीपल थिंक अबाउट द आंसर एंड देन लिसन टू माय एक्सप्लेनेशन. स्टूडेंट्स, ये जो वर्ड है ना सैंग्विनरी, ऐसा कोई वर्ड कभी सुना है? या पॉसिबली एक और वर्ड आता है दैट इज सैंग्विन. सैंग्विनरी एंड सैंग्विन. एंड मोreover स्टूडेंट्स, इन दोनों वर्ड्स का जो मीनिंग है उसमें बहुत बड़ा डिफरेंस है. इफ यू थिंक दैट सैंग्विन एंड सैंग्विनरी बोथ आर वन एंड द सेम, नॉट एट ऑल. यस, द ओरिजिन इज वन एंड द सेम. द ओरिजिन इज वन एंड द सेम, बट एक्चुअली देयर इज अ बिग डिफरेंस इन द मीनिंग. एक्चुअली जो ओरिजिन है वो एक वर्ड से आता है, सैंग्विन्स. ऐसा ही कोई वर्ड है जिसका बेसिक मतलब होता है स्टूडेंट्स ब्लड. इसका बेसिक मतलब होता है ब्लड. तो व्हेन आई से सैंग्विनरी, इसका बेसिक मतलब होता है ब्लड शेड, खून खराबा, ओके, मास किलिंग. तो दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ सैंग्विनरी. तो सैंग्विनरी का बेसिक मतलब होता है बहुत ही ब्रूटल होना, बहुत ही बारबारिक होना, बहुत ही सैवेज होना. तो स्टूडेंट्स, व्हेन आई से सैंग्विनरी, यस इट इज रिलेटेड टू ब्लड, एंड यहाँ पर इसका मीनिंग क्या होगा? ब्लड शेड. ओके, इसका मतलब होता है बारबारिक होना. अंडरस्टैंड? टू रिमेन ruthless, that is the way. Yes, absolutely, one student has given the answer. So here students, if I talk about what is the meaning of the word sanguinary, the correct answer here will be vicious. Okay, because what is the meaning of vicious? So it means savage, brutal, barbaric, wicked, cruel. That is the meaning of vicious. हम लोग कई बार कहते हैं ना vicious circle of life. When I say vicious circle of life, what does that mean? Okay, so it's a vicious circle. It's a very cruel circle. Okay, and no one can escape it. So that is the meaning of vicious. So students, हमसे पूछा गया, what is the meaning of this word? So indeed, the correct answer is vicious. Now, students, when I talk about the other words, dovish and ironic, इन दोनों का मतलब होता है something which is related to peace, something which is peaceful, understand, something which is conciliatory, एक दूसरे को accommodate करना. Okay, when you talk about peace, when you talk about harmony, that is the meaning of being dovish or ironic. And moreover, students, yielding तो बड़ा common सा word है. Yielding का मतलब है flexible होना, आपके productive होना. So that is the meaning of yielding. So here, if I talk about, the best answer happens to be fourth option. Anyway, students, many times, okay, even if you're not very clear about the question, don't avoid looking at the options. Don't make a perception like, sir, question समझ में नहीं आया, इसका मतलब है I will have to skip it. Not at all. कई बार students आप देखोगे MCQs में, when you will compare all the options, you will be able to identify the odd one out. And many times it happens like that odd word itself becomes the correct answer. My suggestion to all the students will be, whenever you keep solving questions purely based on MCQs, don't judge whether you will mark the answer or not without looking at the options. एक बार पूरी तरह से options को देखो and apply some जुगाड़ and try to give the answer. तो कई बार ऐसा होगा question नहीं भी समझ में आएगा, फिर भी you people can manage to give the correct answer. Okay? चलिए, now you people tell me what is the meaning of sanguine. Yes, what is the meaning of sanguine? Anyone? Sanguine, the origin is from blood only. But here, students, the meaning is different. Sanguine का basic मतलब होता है cheerful होना. Okay, happy होना, understand. Optimistic. So one more synonym can be optimistic. So when I talk about sanguine, it's to mean hopeful. I think you people understand what is the meaning of optimistic. हमेशा आशावादी होना. Okay, students, अगर लाइफ में कुछ भी बड़ा करना हो, तो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट होता है ऑप्टिमिस्टिक होना. Do understand? Happiness is the key to success. Success is not the key to happiness. अगर आप हैप्पीली कुछ भी करोगे ना, the chances of success will always be very high. मैं कई बार बच्चों को देखता हूँ, हम क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करते हैं, किसी भी सब्जेक्ट को पढ़ते हैं, बट दैट फीलिंग ऑफ हैप्पीनेस इज नॉट देयर. हमारा जो फीलिंग होता है बड़ा रिलक्टेंस वाला, कि सर इतने सारे वर्ड्स कैसे करेंगे. इंस्टेड ऑफ थिंकिंग दिस, हैप्पीली कुछ वर्ड्स को करना स्टार्ट करो. अपने आप स्टूडेंट्स अब देखोगे कॉन्फिडेंस आना स्टार्ट होगा. एंड मोर ओवर, व्हेनेवर यू कम अक्रॉस अ न्यू वर्ड, always try to find out what is the meaning of that along with a couple of synonyms also. हमेशा अपने दिमाग में एक क्वेश्चन पूछा करो कि सैंग्विन का मतलब अगर ऑप्टिमिस्टिक है तो इसको अपन और क्या कह सकते हैं. अंडरस्टैंड? तो होपफुल होना, cheerful होना, एंड देन स्टूडेंट्स हैप्पीनेस के जितने भी पॉसिबल सिनोनिम्स हैं ऑल कैन बी टेकन हियर. तो buoyant, jubilant, ओके, इन सब का मतलब मोर और लेस वन एंड द सेम है. ऑप्टिमिस्टिक, पॉजिटिव होना. ओके, so that is the meaning of sanguine. So sanguine is a positive word, but when I talk about sanguinary, this becomes a negative word. And here, students, the best answer is vicious. Okay? चलिए, अब students अपन कुछ synonyms लेते हैं. These all are synonyms of the word sanguinary. The bloodthirsty, ruthless, savage, ferocious, barbarous, fiendish. Fiendish का मतलब होता है devilish होना, डायबॉलिक होना, ओके, सैटनिक होना. अब आप देखो कितने अच्छे अच्छे वर्ड्स. स्टूडेंट्स, व्हेन आई टॉक अबाउट फाइंडिश, so one synonym can be taken as satanic, just like a Saturn. Then students, we can also take a word like devilish, and one more word, diabolic. Even this becomes a very common word, और कई बार ये एग्जाम्स में आ चुका है. Vicious, anyway we have taken the answer, and merciless becomes the most simple word here. So students, these are synonyms of sanguinary. Just have a look over. विदाउट थिंकिंग कि सर याद होगा कि नहीं होगा, बस सुनते चलो, देखते चलो। चलिए, कमिंग ऑन स्टूडेंट्स, क्वेश्चन नंबर 3. Question number 3, this becomes a question again purely based on idioms and phrases. A sentence is given to us, and you people have to find out the idiom given in which option matches the meaning of the sentence. Oh, please, that will never happen. The very idea is very outlandish. The students, what is the meaning of outlandish? Yes, what is the meaning of outlandish? Outlandish का basic मतलब होता है something which is unusual, something which is eccentric, something which is weird, something which is not common. Okay, so such a thing is known as outlandish. So outlandish and one more synonym can be taken as outrageous. So outlandish and outrageous, इन दोनों का meaning one and the same होता है, and the meaning happens to be something which is unusual. अब मुझे बताओ स्टूडेंट्स, 4 ऑप्शंस में से which is the correct answer? Yes, the students who are live, please ensure that you people keep responding. Yes, come on, everyone. Hi. Yes, Himanshu. चलो, जितने भी स्टूडेंट्स लाइव हैं, please start giving the answers. Can you people tell me which is the correct answer here? And anyway, I have told you what is the meaning of outlandish. So has have the wolf by the ear, pulling the wool over the eyes, enough to make a cat laugh, and enough to choke a horse. Now, see, students, this question seems to be very simple, but still it is not very simple because possibly students को इनके meanings ही नहीं पता होंगे, और अगर meanings नहीं पता है, anyway students, आपके पास पर कोई option नहीं है, एक wild guess करो या फिर play safe and leave the question. But my suggestion will be among the 4 options, even if we are able to rule out 2 options, do take a risk. अगर 2 options अपन rule out कर पा रहे हैं तो risk जरूर लेना है. तो चलिए स्टूडेंट्स, इन चारों के मीनिंग्स अपन देखते हैं. यस, द करेक्ट आंसर इज इंडीड थर्ड ऑप्शन. तो थर्ड ऑप्शन बिकम्स द राइट आंसर, इनफ टू मेक अ कैट लाफ. इसका मतलब होता है समथिंग व्हिच इज अनयूजुअल, अंडरस्टैंड. बट व्हेन आई टेक द फर्स्ट वन, हैव द वुल्फ बाय द ईयर, इसका बेसिक मतलब होता है टू बी इन अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट और प्रिकैरियस सिचुएशन. स्टूडेंट्स माइंडेड, एक बहुत अच्छा वर्ड यहाँ पर है, प्रिकैरियस. And many times we have seen this word coming in the various exams. So when I say precarious, a very difficult situation, precarious, okay? So pulling the wool over the eyes, इसका मतलब है किसी को deceive करना, cheat करना. To deceive someone, to cheat someone. And enough to choke a horse. So the correct answer is an excessive quantity. Anyway, students, last one. You people can possibly guess as well. So when I say enough to choke a horse, इसका बेसिक मतलब क्या होता है? So the meaning happens to be an excessive quantity, enough to choke a horse. But here, students, the correct answer is enough to make a cat laugh. So here, the best answer is third option. And the meaning of outlandish, I have told you, something unusual, something weird and eccentric. Okay? And precarious भी एक नया word है, इसका भी मतलब सबको पता होना चाहिए. Okay? Coming on, students, question number 4. Now, sometimes some questions are purely based on spellings as well. Now, this becomes a kind of question where a sentence is given to us and we need to find out which word is going to come here. Anyway, students, all the 4 words are different spelling variants of the same word. So our job is to find out the spelling of which particular option is correct. Okay, the couple became increasingly dissatisfied and dash in their old age. The students understand what is the meaning of querulous. Querulous का मतलब होता है to become quarrelsome, हमेशा लड़ते रहना, अंडरस्टैंड. So that is the meaning of quarrelsome. चलो इसके 3-4 synonyms लेते हैं, फिर मैं बताता हूँ कि स्पेलिंग कौन सी सही है. And in case if the people want to give the answer, most welcome. Anyone जो भी live हैं, can you people try which option is correct? चलो भाई, सारे students keep giving the answers. Done? Okay. चलो मैं कुछ सिनोनिम्स बता देता हूं. क्वेरुलस का मतलब होता है क्वारलसम, ओके, हमेशा लड़ने वाला. एंड वन सिनोनिम कैन बी पगनेशियस, हमेशा पंगा लेने वाला. होता है ना, बहुत सारे लोगों की हैबिट होती है आपके पंगा लेते रहना. तो such a person is known as pugnacious. इसका भी मतलब होता है quarrelsome होना. One more synonym can be taken as combative. Combative. Combat का मतलब भी क्या होता है? To fight. So combative also becomes one of the synonyms here. Okay, and many more synonyms are possible. So these are a few. But in this manner, you people will have to keep developing your vocab. And students here, the correct answer will be, of course, first option. So querulous. This spelling is correct. Agreed? Coming on, students, question number 5. So anyway, the answer is also visible here. Okay, but the learning of this question is very good. Sometimes you will see like, you will come across such questions where the structure of the question becomes very important, where you people have to understand how that sentence will be framed. मैं कई बार बच्चों को देखता हूँ, we don't understand the basic method of framing a sentence. And moreover, students, we people should also know what are the various types of sentences. Okay, कई बार जो sentences होते हैं वो assertive होते हैं. कई बार students आपने देखा होगा imperative sentences. कई बार students such sentences which are known as subjunctive. So anyway, these are the various types of sentences. And sometimes the sentences are exclamatory, interrogative. That is what you people have to understand. Okay? But anyway, ये सब डिटेल में हम लोग अपने कोर्स में कवर करते हैं. फिलहाल स्टूडेंट्स, I'll just tell you which is the correct answer here and what is the reason for that. So all the students do understand the sentences. It is imperative that the game dash at once. Students, whenever I say it is imperative, what is the meaning of imperative? Something which cannot be avoided. Students, whenever I say it is essential that, whenever I say he suggested that, whenever I say the doctor recommended that, iske baad, okay, whatever the subject is, but we have to take the basic form of the verb. Students, you people do understand. Generally, हम लोग he के साथ क्या कहते हैं? Goes. Okay, he goes home. He goes. Generally, we people should say the game begins, isn't it? कभी भी मैं सेंटेंस बनाऊंगा, फॉर एग्जाम्पल द गेम begins. The game begins at 8 o'clock. The game, it becomes the subject and this becomes singular. And whenever the subject is third person singular, हम V1 के साथ हमेशा S लेते हैं. The game begins. But here, students, this becomes a very specific kind of sentence. Whenever I talk about, it is suggested that. Whenever I say that, it is recommended that, or it is imperative that. In such a case, हमें V1 के साथ S form नहीं लेना है, हमें सिर्फ base form लेना है. Anyway, students, you people should know, verb के multiple forms होते हैं, V1, V2, V3, V4 and V5. When I talk about V1, V2 and V3, students, ये तीनों forms हमें पता होने चाहिए. And साथ में you people should know, it purely depends on what subject is there. So on the basis of the subject, we people have to understand which particular verb is going to come. Anyway, students, ये अपने आप में subject and verb agreement एक बहुत important chapter होता है grammar का. I would urge all the students, हमें subject and verb agreement को बहुत strong करना है. In case if the people love grammar, go through all the chapters of grammar. But in case if the people don't love grammar much, at least 2-3 chapters of grammar you should never miss. So one chapter is subject and verb agreement. The second chapter is tenses, and the third chapter is prepositions. Please ensure that these 3 chapters you people won't miss. Okay? The correct answer here should be, well, I say it is imperative that the game. So वैसे तो students, the game, it becomes singular. So V1 के साथ S लेना is preferable. But this becomes a very different kind of sentence. So यहाँ पर we will take the base form of the verb. So here the correct answer is begin. So it is imperative that the game begin at once. And to make you understand, I have taken a few more examples. It is essential that he be present. He suggested that he go home. The doctor recommended that he take rest. Okay? The students do understand. इस type के sentences में हमेशा base form of the verb is used. Okay? चलिए, coming on, students, the next question. Question number 6. Now, this becomes a question which is purely based on vocab. 4 words are given to us, and in case if you know the meanings of these words, then only it is possible to give the correct answer here. So there are some steps you can take to dash the flooding risk at your home ahead of severe weather. There are some steps you can take to dash the flooding risk at your home ahead of severe weather. Yes, come on. There are some steps you can take to dash the flooding risk. Students try to understand हमें risk को क्या करना है, reduce करना है. And when we try to reduce the bad effect of something, when we try to reduce the risk of something, इसके लिए सबसे suitable word कौन सा होगा? Any answer? Okay. So the correct answer here will be mitigate. Students, do you understand? The correct answer will be mitigate. तो mitigate का basic मतलब होता है to reduce the bad effect of something, to reduce the risk of something. Okay, mitigate is the correct answer here. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of militate? Militate का मतलब होता है students, it becomes a factor against something. जैसे for example, if I make a sentence like, his lack of experience can militate against his promotion. So when I say his lack of experience can militate against his promotion, इसका मतलब होता है students, yes, possibly जो lack of experience है, that becomes a factor against his promotion. So militate का मतलब है to become a factor against something. Okay. Malady, I think this is a very common word. So what is the meaning of malady? It refers to illness. It refers to ailment, any problem, any sickness. So that is the meaning of malady. Okay. And malinger, what is the meaning of malinger? Malinger का मतलब है students बहाने बनाना, pretend करना. Okay, so that you can avoid some work. So malinger का मतलब है here you people try to deceive your employer. Here possibly you people try to deceive your teacher. You may show that you are busy just to avoid the work. So that is malinger. Okay, done. So students, the best answer here is mitigate. Wonderful. Well, coming on question number 7. Question number 7, you are supposed to complete the sentence. So this becomes a fill in the blank, which is purely based on grammar. And moreover, students, such questions where the options are basically prepositions. So such questions are very commonly asked in many OMATs. तो इसलिए बिल्कुल भी मिस मत करना. And preposition is one such a chapter. It will seem to be correct. ऐसा लगेगा कि this particular chapter is very simple to understand. So when I talk about on, in, at, you people may think like, sir, यहाँ पर correct answer identify करना कौन सा मुश्किल काम है? But students, prepositions में answers को identify करना सबसे मुश्किल होता है. Many times we really don't understand कि कहाँ पर कौन सा preposition आएगा. In the coming days, students, I'll take more sessions on it. फिलहाल, let us take the answer to this question. Now this becomes a very simple question. I think each and every one would be able to give the answer. So what's just the correct answer here? Yes, at becomes the right answer. Okay. So Ravi never seems to be at home. So at home. Home becomes the point of place. Home becomes the point of place. And point of place and point of time के लिए हम लोग हमेशा at use करते हैं. Okay, understand. चलिए, coming on students, question number 8. Another very simple, purely based on grammar. A sentence is given to us and you are supposed to find out the tense of the given sentence. Students, it is my strong suggestion to everyone, please ensure that हम tenses को जरूर identify करें. Till I see so many students, they are not able to understand the basic structure of the sentence. Okay, they are not very clear about what is past simple tense and what is past perfect tense. Students, please overcome this problem. And moreover, when I talk about the 12 tenses, unme students, again, you people should be able to understand the active sentence and the passive voice. So active voice में sentence कैसे बनता है और passive में कैसे बनता है. And then for each and every tense, you people should understand assertive sentence कैसे बनेगा, interrogative कैसे बनेगा. What I mean to say is, be clear about the structures of the sentences. इस पर based हमेशा questions जरूर आते हैं. Moreover, we are just supposed to find out. Yes, so this becomes a very simple sentence, a simple question. I think anyone can manage to give the answer. What is the correct answer? Agreed? Done? The correct answer here is, I am reading the book right now. तो यहाँ पर स्टूडेंट जो करेक्ट आंसर है प्रेजेंट कंटिन्यूअस टेंस, एब्सोल्युटली। आई एम रीडिंग, आईएनजी फॉर्म कहीं पर भी आएगा तो दैट बिकम्स कंटिन्यूअस, एंड आई एम इट refers to present time. So I am reading a book, that becomes the correct answer. Students, अगर लिखा होता I was reading a book, तो past the continuous tense. और अगर लिखा होता I will be reading a book, तो future continuous tense. Okay? Identify the word with a suffix. Yes. My suggestion to all the students, do understand what are the various types of words. कुछ वर्ड्स ऐसे होते हैं जिनके बिगिनिंग में एक प्रीफिक्स होता है, कुछ वर्ड्स के साथ सफिक्स होता है, एंड मोreover स्टूडेंट्स देयर आर सम वर्ड्स व्हिच आर नोन एज कंपाउंड वर्ड्स, तो पॉसिबली दो अलग अलग शब्दों से बनते हैं, जैसे रेन कोट, अब दिस बिकम्स एन एग्जांपल ऑफ अ कंपाउंड वर्ड। That may possibly one or two questions can be based on it, where you will have to identify such words which have a prefix or suffix or which is a compound word. Okay, so फिलहाल students, the question is we are supposed to find out the word with the suffix. I think a very simple question slowly becomes the answer. Ly becomes the suffix. Okay. Yeah. Read the portion of the poem Village Song by Sarojini Naidu and answer the question below. First line, mother mine, to the wild forest I am going, whereupon the champa bows, the champa birds are blowing, to the coil haunted river isles, where lotus lilies glisten, and the voices of the fairy folk are calling me, oh listen. So which of the above lines most adheres to the standard word order? Students, the question happens to be इन चारों में से you people have to find out the standard sentence formation है, इन चारों में से कौन सी line का जो sentence formation है, that is the standard one. And students, when I talk about the standard sentence formation, what do we generally do? We take a subject, we take a verb, and then we take an object. Okay. So when I make a sentence like, yes, I'm taking your class, so this becomes the standard word order. The subject has to come in the beginning, and after that, the verb has to come. The subject plus verb plus object. This becomes the standard word order. Come on, tell me, students. इन चारों sentences में से इसका जो standard है, जिसका जो कौन सा line ऐसा है जिसका word order बिल्कुल standard? I think the correct answer is, चलो, let us take the first one. Mother mine, to the wild forest I'm going. Students, you people see, I should have said I'm going to the wild forest. तब जाकर ये standard sentence formation होता है. Whereupon the champa bows, the champa birds are blowing. Students, I should say the champa birds are blowing upon the champa bows. तब जाकर ये standard होता है. So the coil haunted, coil का मतलब it's a bird basically. इसको हम लोग कक्कू कह सकते हैं, है ना, जो बहुत मीठा गाती है. Haunted, haunted का मतलब यहाँ पर fear नहीं, understand. Haunted का basic मतलब होता है which is present. Okay. So to the coil haunted river isles. Isles का मतलब है islands. तो नदी के अंदर छोटे छोटे जो islands हैं उन पर स्टूडेंट जो लोटस लिलीज है they are shining. Glisten का मतलब होता है to shine. Anyway, students, to the coil haunted river isles where lotus lilies glisten. Anyway, even this sentence is not correct. This line is not correct because this is not the standard format. But anyway, students, as a poem it is acceptable, because in case of poem, you people have the freedom, you people have the luxury, okay, not to follow the basic rules of grammar. यहाँ पर students, what is more important is the creativity of the poet. So that is the reason poems में, literature में, okay, everything is okay. The voices of the fairy folk are calling me, oh listen. Now see, students, the voices of the fairy folk are calling me. The voices are calling me. It becomes the subject, are calling becomes the verb. So anyway, students, the correct answer to this question is fourth line. Okay, done. Question number 11. Identify the assertive sentence from the following. Assertive sentence. What an unbelievable catch that was. First option cannot be the correct answer because this becomes exclamatory sentence, isn't it? Exclamatory. So what an unbelievable catch that was. Can you believe how quickly time has passed? This becomes interrogative. Kindly refrain from using your mobile phone during the lecture. Students, I am giving you some advice. Okay, so this becomes an example of imperative. Imperative का मतलब होता है कोई सजेशन देना, कोई एडवाइस देना, कोई ऑर्डर देना, कोई रिक्वेस्ट करना. So that becomes an example of imperative. Researchers are developing new ways to treat chronic diseases. Students, this becomes an example of assertive. Assertive sentence का basic objective होता है to give information, to indicate something. Assertive sentences can also be called as indicative sentences. Here the basic objective is to talk about what is going on. Rather than asking a question, rather than giving some order, and rather than showing exclamation. It is all about just giving some information. If I make a sentence like, my name is Anil Chaudhary, this becomes an example of assertive sentence. Okay, for example, if I say that, these many questions come in CAT, this becomes an example of assertive sentence. If I say that, CAT is a tougher exam than SNAP, this becomes an example of assertive sentence. This becomes the last question of the day. Identify the request statement from the given options. I think students, बहुत ही simple सा question है, but such a simple question जो people can expect in SNAP. So the correct answer is yes. Would you mind closing the door? Yes. This becomes the request. Okay. Students, you people may get confused, thinking that it is interrogative. Even if it is interrogative, I'm actually making a request. So would you mind closing the door? That means I'm just making a request. Okay, please do this. So students, by this, today's session gets over. कल हम लोग मिलेंगे वापस नए 12-15 questions के साथ. तो daily मेरे साथ इन questions को solve करते रहो. And the best part is, I will not keep giving the answers only. I'll keep discussing the logic behind the answer as well. So anyway, students, you will get a wonderful opportunity to learn a lot of grammar, learn a lot of vocab, idioms and phrases, and बहुत मजा आएगा इस पूरी सीरीज में. तो please ensure that you stay with us on a daily basis. And अपने जितने भी दोस्त हैं उन सब दोस्तों को इन वीडियोस के बारे में and moreover ASCAT चैनल के बारे में जरूर बताएं. मैं देखता हूँ आप लोगों के wonderful comments हमें बहुत मोटिवेट करते हैं. So see you soon, students, in the next class tomorrow. So thank you very much and do like the stream. अच्छा लगा हो तो जरूर लाइक करना. थैंक यू सो मच. ओके वैभव, थैंक्स अ लॉट.